The Rangers now know who their opponent will be in the Eastern Conference Finals, and it will be the Florida Panthers, who bounced the Bruins in 6 games on Friday night. So let's get some early thoughts on this series matchup with the host of Total Hockey Now, co-host that is, Anthony Rivera, who joins me now. Anthony, how you doing?
I'm doing great, enjoying these playoffs, and the fact that the Rangers are in the Eastern Conference Finals is going to make for one heck of a time in New York City, that's for sure.
Oh, it is, especially how they got there. It's a very exciting time for the Rangers fans. And Anthony, what do you see as the biggest strengths and weaknesses of the Rangers heading into the series against the Panthers?
Well, for starters, strengths, they're a healthy team right now, and they have great depth. You look at the top 2 lines, and they have really delivered. You just go look at the stats there. Zibanejad, 14 points. Trocheck, 14. Panarin's got 11. Lafreniere, 10. Kreider, who had that big Game 6, he has 10 as well. And this team is just firing on all cylinders. It's nice to see them come back and take Game 6 the way that they did. You look at also the goaltending. Pretty much elite goaltending from Igor Shesterkin. He's played all the games. He's 8-2, got a .923 save percentage. And by the way, you have a 2-time Stanley Cup winner in Jonathan Quick as a backup, who has a career .921 save percentage in the playoffs. You know, that's a pretty good standing for the Rangers. Weaknesses, I don't know if the team has any true weaknesses, but the competition has ramped up, especially against Carolina. It was a lot closer series than the end results show. The first 5 games ended with 1 goal, 2 of them in overtime, and they were down 3-1 by the third period in Game 6 and had to do that massive comeback thanks to Chris Kreider. But this team seems to go well in hand, and looking forward to this Eastern Conference Finals for sure.
No, definitely looking forward to it. And the opponents are not an easy opponent. You said the competition has grown as they move through the Stanley Cup playoffs, and we're seeing that here. And the Panthers, they've had a strong run to reach the Eastern Conference Finals. What do you think has been the key to their success, the Panthers, that is, thus far in the playoffs?
I think it's sort of the same of what the Rangers are going through, right? They have a deep team. They're healthy. They're getting contributions from everywhere. Matthew Tkachuk has played well. Barkov or Hagee. You look at their defensive players, too, that are playing well. Montour and Forsling, who had the game winner against Boston yesterday. Both teams are pretty much evenly matched, in my opinion. The only difference is I'm going to go with the playoff experience of the Panthers. They went to the Stanley Cup last year. They were President's Trophy winners the year before. So this is a big matchup for the Rangers going forward. Obviously, they had the Capitals that they took care of really quickly, and this Carolina series. This is going to be an epic series against the Panthers.
All right, calling it epic already. I like that. That always excites me there. Now, you mentioned the goaltending here. Igor Shesterkin, he's been outstanding in goal for the Rangers. How crucial do you think his performance will be in this series, and can he continue his stellar play against the Panthers?
Yeah, he has his work cut out for him against probably the biggest competition in the Panthers. Not only the fact that they went to the Stanley Cup last year, but they have a great goalie in net in Sergei Bobrovsky, who's a 2-time Vezina winner. And last year, he pretty much willed the Panthers to the Cup because they were, I think they pretty much were the 8th seed. They barely backed themselves into the playoffs and found a way to get all the way to the Stanley Cup. So he's got his work cut out for him against those lines against the Panthers. But there's no doubt in my mind that Igor Shesterkin is one of the top goaltenders, not only in this playoffs, but in all of hockey. And I have no doubt in my mind that he will play well in this series. It's going to be tit for tat with these 2 teams. And like I said, epic to me.
There we go. Epic again. Exciting the Rangers fans there. We got to like that. Now, you know this, Anthony. We've seen this time and time again. Every playoff series has its unsung heroes. Who do you think could be the potential X factors for both the Rangers and the Panthers in this matchup?
I'm definitely looking at both goalies in Bobrovsky and Shesterkin to lead the charge on that. But you look at the Rangers on offense, Chris Kreider and what he did in Game 6. I don't know if I've ever seen something outside of what Messier did in Game 6 against the Devils or Game 7 against the Devils in '94. Kreider pretty much cementing himself as one of the Rangers' great. And you also have Lafreniere, who's kind of turned the corner and becoming that player that they drafted him for. And when you look at at the Panthers, obviously Matthew Tkachuk, who had one stellar playoffs last season and is continuing it this year. And I'm going to throw in Gustav Forsling, who had the game winner on yesterday against Boston to seal up that series late in the game. And you know what? Maybe Vladimir Tarasenko makes a little bit of an appearance. He was on the Rangers last year. I wouldn't be shocked to see him. He's been has a lot of playoff experience himself.
Yeah, plenty of X factors that could be prominent in this series. We will see how that all plays out. Last thing for me here, Anthony. Here we go. Prediction time. What's your prediction for this series? How many games do you think it will go? Which team do you see coming out on top and going to the Stanley Cup Finals?
Look, before the playoffs began, I had this as my Eastern Conference final, Panthers, Rangers. I thought it was a match made in heaven for these two teams to meet up. I'm going, and I'm sticking with this because I do have the Panthers winning the Stanley Cup, so I'm having the Panthers win this in 7 games. But seeing how the Rangers have played, I wouldn't be shocked if they pulled this off. So in my little bizarro world where I have an alternate type of playoff rankings, I do have the Rangers winning. So it can go either way, honestly, but I have to stick with what I had before the playoffs began and go Panthers in 7 here.
All right, sticking with it. You got the Panthers in 7. You know that's not going to make the Rangers fans happy. We'll see. Maybe it'll be your bizarre world. Maybe it'll be the one where the Rangers win in 7 and it's like 94 all over again. That is Anthony Rivera, co-host for Total Hockey Now. Go check him out there. Anthony, appreciate the insight and the breakdown previewing this series. We will talk soon.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm looking forward to this series.